Okay guys, let me show you how to do some of our conversions. Now we're to the point where we're just going to do some simple conversions. Here we have moles to mass and mass to moles, back and forth. And then a little more complicated, sort of a two-step thing where we go atoms all the way to mass. Let's start out, let's say that we have a problem asked for 2 moles of sodium. So as always, we make our ladder and we put the information that we know up here. We're going to transfer our units down. Moles of sodium to the mass, which would be grams of sodium. We know the relationship between mass and moles, the molar mass. 1 mole of sodium, according to our periodic table, is 22.98 grams. So we're just going to go ahead and make it 23. When we do things on the top, side by side, they multiply. So 2 times 23 is 46. And notice that moles of sodium cancel, and that leaves us grams of sodium. Okay? So we just do it right like that, and that should work out fine. Same thing down here. Let's say that we start with 46 grams of sodium, and we want to convert that into moles. So I give you a certain mass of an element. Then we do our ladder, same thing, transfer our units down, grams of sodium to moles of sodium. 1 mole is the same thing for sodium, 23 grams. Notice this time it's on the bottom, but this equality top to bottom is equal to each other. 1 mole is 23 grams, and 23 grams of sodium is 1 mole. Now, in this case, we take top side by side, we multiply. 46 times 1 is 46, but then divide it by 23, and then that gives us 2, and that would be, with grams of sodium canceling, moles of Na. So we took it forward and then back just like that. Now, a little more complicated is if we go with atoms to mass. Let's say we have a number like 1 times 10, actually let's do 1.2 times 10 to the 24th atoms of sodium, and we want to convert that to mass. Well, what we have to do, we have to take atoms to our handy counting unit, moles. So I transfer my units down, and I'm going to transfer that into moles. I can do that conversion. 1 mole of anything is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd things. Atoms, particles, molecules, ions, anything. In this case, it's atoms. Well, if we solved right now, notice atoms would cancel atoms and we'd have an answer in moles, but we want to go on to mass. So look what we can do. We can just continue our frame on, mass to moles. It is just like this guy. So we're going to continue one more frame, transfer our units down. Moles of sodium, and we want to go to grams of sodium. So add in. Okay, 1 mole is 23 grams. When we do that math, it's 1.2 times 10 to the 24th times 23, hit your equal sign, and then divide that by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And when we do that, let me check my calculator. I don't have it. All right, after a short calculator break there, when we do the math on that, this comes out to be 46 grams of sodium. And so that's how we do that. Notice that the atoms of sodium cancel atoms of sodium, moles of sodium cancel moles, and we end up with grams. So always follow your units and you'll be just right. Notice that whenever you're confused on one of these problems where to go, take what you know and convert it into moles. They're kind of right in the middle. It's just our handiest counting unit. For this last one, mass to the number of atoms, I'm not going to solve the whole thing, but I'll show you the basic setup. And so let's start with 46 grams of sodium, that mass. If we want to go to moles, just follow your units. So I go grams of sodium to moles of sodium. And then the same thing, we transfer this down, moles of sodium to atoms of sodium. Once we plug in these values, remember top equals bottom. We can use molar mass for this conversion, for a gram to mole conversion. For an atom to mole conversion, we use Avogadro's number. Plug those numbers in the right place, then solve. Side to side, we multiply, top to bottom, we divide. All right, that should have you all set. Feel free to review this video as much as you need and look over things and then use that to answer your questions that follow. right, good luck. Thanks.